Hey everybody, thanks for checking in today. Glad you are here. Continuing our focus and concentration on the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Takeaways from that. So reading books and applying them. So not just reading them to read them, but applying them. And people reach out every once in a while and say, what kind of book would you recommend? This is what I'm going through. And it just seems 9 times out of 10, it comes down to this one. This book has single-handedly changed the course of so many different things in my life, and even as I encounter conflict now or challenges now, it still comes down to these fundamental agreements, and it's just crazy. But to get to that point, I had to work through several of the agreements, and I continue to kind of sift and sort through agreements that I have right now. What kind of agreements do you have in your life? Let me give you an example of what we're talking about and what Don Miguel talks about. He said there are thousands of agreements that you have made with yourself or with other people, or with your dream of life, or with God, or with your parents, with your spouse, with your children. But the most important agreements have been made with yourself. So these are what we're talking about. Agreements are beliefs that you have based on whatever the experience was, or things that were, told to you, or where you find yourself bringing up this whole thing of like, this is what I am, right? This is what I believe. I can do certain things and certain things I cannot do. And elaborating on those agreements. So let's think about those agreements that we have right now, right? So what have we agreed in relationships that we have? What about our work life? What kind of agreements have we aligned to? Like, well, this is the work that I do, and this is all I want to do, so this is it. Or are we open to new experiences? Are we open to learning something new? Similarly, in relationships, are we open to what our partner might be up to? Something that they're interested in. Have we stopped for a second and actually asked them, what are you interested in now? Because those change, right? So similar to us changing as we're evolving, right? They're changing too. And it's that whole line with relationships that people change and forget to tell each other. And it's so valuable, so true, so simple, so significant, but we fail to ask those questions because we've made these kind of agreements with ourselves. Well, I'm not really one to ask, or I just don't do that, or I believe that I'm this, right? And we put all these labels, which then tie into the agreements, which then cause us to play the judge, the victim, which then stirs up this big pot that then turns out our beliefs. And when is the last time we looked at that, took a little inventory of those agreements, took a little inventory of those beliefs, and actually said, does that make sense to me now? The person I am now is not the person I was yesterday, not going to be the person I am tomorrow, because you have a whole new days of experience, right? I think about the thing with parenting and how one little sentence really shifted things for me when I realized that, I found this out, I learned this. Every time your child leaves in the morning and they're going to go to school, they're going to come back 8 hours older. So think about the experiences that they go through and the challenges that they go through, and the ups and the downs and the right sides and all these different kind of things. And they're coming back, but yet we're expecting them to come back as the same child that left in the morning. And are we doing that with ourselves? Are we doing that with our partners? Are we doing that with our friends? Are we even taking a second to check what our agreement is? And does that still ring true today? Because just because it was true yesterday does not mean it's going to be true today, and certainly doesn't mean that it's going to be true tomorrow. So check our agreements, check your own agreements, do a little history of it. What are you believing to be true? What are you believing not to be true? Why? Dig into that. How is it looking to things in your life, your relationships, your work, spirituality, mental well-being, physical well-being? Does it all align? Does it all make sense? If it does, fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. If not, if there's some kind of area that you're struggling with, look at what agreement you have set for that situation and see how we can change that up a little bit. Let's add a little bit more spice to Let's change it up. Let's see if this makes sense. Come to a new agreement, because it's okay to change. It is okay. Just because someone told you it's not, it is okay. If you need a permission, here it is, right? And see if that's going to work out better for you. The change is a choice, right? We talk about it. Change is a choice. You can change your agreements. Focus on that. Think about the agreements that you have in those areas of your life. And if you want to, change it. Yes, it is simple. Yes, it will take some work. But yes, it will be worth it. Because you matter. I appreciate you. Go get it.